Ted's parents were Polish and worked in blue-collar jobs when they met. He grew up with one younger brother named David who impacted Ted's criminal life. It was noted that all through his years of education, his classmates often recognized him as a loner who excelled academically. Ted was 12 years old and already showing academic promise. In 5th grade, a school counselor gave him an IQ test, and Ted scored 167. In Ted's journal, he wrote down about seeing a girl on the street when he was 13. Something about her appearance antagonized me, and from habit I began looking for a way to justify hating her within my logical system. At age 15, he would earn a mathematics scholarship to Harvard University. Ted Kaczynski was an assistant professor of mathematics at the University of California, Berkeley in the late 1960s. Ted eventually shunned mathematics and technology. He later moved to Montana and would bomb his campus twice. In the early 1970s, after Ted had settled outside the small town, immersing himself in self-imposed survivalist retreat, he shunned electricity, interrupting his sleep. He started with little things, but moved on to bigger things like bombs. When he was 9 months old, he was rushed to the hospital with a serious case of hives. His mother, Wanda, was worried about his experience in the hospital and how they treated him even as an infant. They didn't let the parents stay with the child. Ted's infant experience there, she believes, contributed to a mental illness, began pattern of isolation, and a contradictory fear of abandonment, even though Ted would later dismiss the story as an elaborate lie. His crime scenes and methods were very thought out and organized. He didn't leave many clues or trails despite his organization and precision. He liked to publicize his plans. His crimes were all over a span of 17 years. He sent out 16 bombs that killed 3 people and injured 23 people. He signed one of the bombs with the initials FC, which stood for Freedom Club. It either meant something to him, or he was probably trying to make a point with this. No criminal profile for Ted Kaczynski was developed before apprehension due to his ability for being unanimous and incognito. He rejected the insanity plea but later attempted suicide in his jail cell. This resulted in a psychiatric evaluation and a diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia. He pleaded guilty to his crimes and accepted 8 life sentences without parole. After getting arrested in Sacramento, California in his last area of attack, he was sent to a U.S. penitentiary administrative maximum facility. Kaczynski was transient because his targets were nationwide. He was organized because he got away with so many bombings and attacks for so long without anyone finding him and made these bombs himself. He was disorganized because he published a 35,000-word manifesto that was sent to the New York Times for anyone to see, which is what got him caught. Kaczynski is a mission-oriented serial killer by introducing 2 ideologies that he solely believed in and used bombs as a significant force of action. To threaten the ideologies of anti-government and anti-technologies, the force was used on genetic researchers and air travel companies. Kaczynski, out of rage, created these ideologies to create something to blame of his actual motive, which is his hate for society. Being known as a loner, isolated, and abnormal, Kaczynski had experienced a negative impact from society, which created a man of rage seeking revenge to change the image of society by imposing threats upon those who differ from him.